Hi everyone, it's Arlene from Arlene's Creations, and this is another Trash to Treasure. I picked up these 3 trays from the AmVets thrift store, and I got them each for $1.98. And I will be showing you today how I transform them into beautiful decor for my home and for my mom's. So the first thing I am doing is I have my Dixie Belle White Lightning, and I am spraying the trays down very well, and I'm going to wipe it with a clean cloth. It's actually the bag of rags from Home Depot, just to get all the dust and the dirt off. So very simple cleaning. No other sanding or anything required. So after you're done wiping it all down with the Dixie Belle, then you need to take a regular spray bottle with regular water or a wet rag and wipe off all of the Dixie Belle White Lightning. So you want to get all that white lightning off with regular water, which I did. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my Dixie Belle Fluff paint, chalk paint. I'm gonna start painting my piece, but then I found that the Dixie Belle, it wasn't covering those flowers. So speeding ahead, if you will, I do put on a coat of Slick Stick, which is a primer from Dixie Belle, which basically covers everything, and then you don't have to do 2 coats of the chalk paint. But once I saw how this dried, I was like, oh, I should have done the Slick Stick first. So it's time to pull out the big guns, the Slick Stick, which I am going to do over the whole entire flower area. This way, I don't have to do 2 coats or even 3 coats of the Dixie Belle Fluff chalk paint. I can just do the Slick Stick, and then 1 coat should be sufficient. So I just squeezed some Slick Stick on the tray, which it might have been a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'm doing 2 trays at one time, one for my house and one for my mom. So I'm just gonna move it around between the 2 trays, and then once it dries, I will be starting to paint them. So I'm just cleaning up the tray, the second tray, real quick, and speeding up the video because you don't really need to see that again. So just definitely speeding this up really quick, hitting it with the Slick Stick, and then we will get on to the next step. So excited about the way these turned out, so keep watching. Okay, so the Slick Stick is definitely dried, and now I'm going to start painting with the Dixie Belle Fluff chalk paint. And I'm going to do 1 coat on the whole entire thing around the sides. I'm not doing the bottom. It's just going to be sitting on the table. There's no need to do it. If I was going to be selling these, I definitely would, but I'm not, you know, for myself and for my mom. So I'm just going to be painting everything until it's totally coated and looking gorge. I'll be back with the next step. So now what I'm doing is I am taking my Dixie Belle wax in brown, and I am just gonna distress the trays a little bit by putting wax on one of my waxing pads, which I get from Home Depot. And I'm just gonna wipe it on the edges and, you know, just... Sorry that it's out of focus. Yeah, it's way out of focus, but you'll see in a minute. And after you put the wax on, you wipe it off a little bit. And it just gives it that aged, you know, vintagey, farmhouse kind of look. So I go all on the edges of all the sides, in the middle. Like I actually did the whole tray, on the sides, on the top, in the middle. You don't want to put too much wax, because once you put it on, it is kind of hard to wipe it off. So basically where it goes, that's where it's going to stay. So I'm just going to continue to wax both of these trays completely, and then I'm going to make the stencil. See how I put that on, and like those big clumps on the side, they kind of, I had to like really rub them out. But I wanted it all on the sides of the handles. So you just got to play around with your wax. You got to, you know, I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to the wax. I still am learning how to use it. But I just love the way it looks. So I'm going to continue to do that and rub it out with another rag after I have it put on, like I'm doing now, and until I get it the way I want it, and then we'll continue to the next step. Okay, so I have made my stencil on the Cricut machine, which I designed in Cricut Design Space. And it's just an M monogram that Cricut provides. I added the laurel leaves things on the side and put my last name in the middle, Mulhern. And now I'm just taking a tape measure, and I am making sure that it's even on the tray. I am going to stick it down. Like so. I'm going to scrape it so it sticks nice. And then I will pull the clear adhesive off of the stencil, and then I will be able to stencil with the black onto the tray. So stay tuned for that. So here I am just pressing the stencil on, so I don't want any bleeds coming through. So I'm just like pressing everything down really good. Now I'm taking my stencil brush with my black chalk paint from Dixie Belle. I'll show a picture. I know it's black, but I think it's called ebony or something. I forget what it's called, but I will put it in the description box below. But I am just stenciling on the stencil. And just up and down motions very carefully. And then we're going to see how it turns out. Stay tuned, my friends. So this next step is just peeling off your stencil, and then with the weeding tool going through and getting all of that other vinyl that's in between the M and in between the letters of the Mulhern, the last name, off of the tray. But first you want to get all that big vinyl off, and then you go in with the weeding tool and get all those other little pieces off. Doesn't take very long. You do have to do it under a light. It's kind of hard to see. But as you can see, I'm just taking the weeding tool and I'm just pulling up all those other pieces. I say I couldn't see which was the paint and which was the vinyl because the lighting wasn't that good. But once you find a little piece of the vinyl, and then you just pull it up and then it's fine. And you just continue to do that until all of your vinyl is off of the tray and your image is there. It really came out nice. I loved the font. And that's how it looks when it's done. Now this polyurethane I'm using is a spray polyurethane. And it said 3 times. So I think 1 coat is equivalent to 3 coats of a regular polyurethane. So I'm just spraying all the sides, the top. Now this will make it, excuse me, waterproof. You could put a plate on it. You could, you know, for dinner, coffee cup, a glass with ice and water, whatever you'd like. And it's just gonna make it waterproof and wipeable. If there's a stain or something on it, you'll be able to wipe it off. So I'm really loving the way it came out. The other tray I did make for my mom, which it's the same M, but Mulhern. And that's how it looked before, and that's how it looks now. So I would say that's a really nice transformation. A trash to treasure, since I got these at the AmVets thrift store for only $1.98 each. And made it into something beautiful. Very excited about this project. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscription button. Please hit that notification bell. And stay tuned for more trash to treasure, more cookie videos, Weight Watcher recipes, which I have to get back on track with. And yes, and thrift store finds. I'll be doing a new series on thrift store finds. So thanks again for tuning in. Everybody have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.